Hey everyone and welcome to Immortal Realm. In today's video we'll be talking about manhwas where the main character is overpowered. On number 10 we have I Am the Fated Villain. Immediately after Gu Chang'e realized that he had transmigrated into a fantasy world where the world's protagonist and fortune's chosen vowed to take revenge on him because he has been reborn as a villain, but as we all know, villains are envied by all. Now our main character Gu Chang'e is very clever and he has already made the female leads head over heels for him, and it is not because he is a simp, but it is because he gets points for doing that, points for changing the Son of Heaven's fortune. So the more he converts the main character or the hero's fortune to misfortune, the stronger he becomes. Also, our main character has a distinguished identity. Also, our main character is a very high profile one because wherever he goes, he is treated as a distinguished guest. So, fortunately, Gu Chang'e's prestige and power are superior to everyone else's. So, shouldn't it be easy to trample on a mere fortune's chosen? And our main character also has a system. On number 9, we have Supreme God's Eye. An ordinary teenager's left eye experiences a sudden transformation. He then starts gambling on precious stones and treasures and begins to get surrounded by beautiful women. He proudly laughs as he starts living a dashing life in the city. Well, by hearing to this summary, you already could guess that our main character has a cheat, and that is his special ability in his eye that makes him overpowered in the gambling niche. So you can say that obviously he will become rich after few chapters. These types of stories are pretty generic, but they are still interesting. So if you want to read it, you can definitely go and check it out. Number 8 on our list is I Am the King. It's a fantasy isekai manhwa with good art. In order to return to his hometown, the earth, Gao Miao, the transverser, or you can say the transmigrator, journeys through the world of novels, comics, movies, etc., experiencing a variety of different lives and getting to know a lot of different and interesting people, and also beating up strong enemies. Well, that is a given if you want to make a manhwa much more interesting. Our main character is smart sometimes, but sometimes he acts a little dense, that is around girls, but literally there is no romance in it because it is an action adventure isekai manhwa. On number 7 we have the Previous Life Murim Ranker. I guess some of you might have already read this one because it is a very famous one, because it's a very famous manhwa. The strongest guild Griffin SSS ranker Gang Teiha challenges them alone, but he meets his death after a fierce battle. However, when he is reborn, he finds himself in the body of a very fat guy. That was not the only shocker for him, but he also realizes that he is in a different world, and this world is a world of Murim. He became Yu Shin-un, the ruffian of the Baik-un clan, a chaotic situation with no time to rest. In the midst of incoming death, he uses his knowledge of necromancy from previous life as well as martial arts from current life in order to become overpowered and rule this world. Number 6 on our list is one of the longest manhwas, that is Dawn's Adventure in Another World, also known as Tang Yin Zai Yi Ji. An assassin from Earth who has been transported to another world attains the abilities and memories of Yan Li after almost meeting his death at the hands of the soldiers of the kingdom of Ning. That was the starting of our manhwa, or you can say that was the starting of this interesting story. Fast forward 200 to 200 chapters, you will see our main character becoming a demon, destroying everyone, and becoming the most overpowered character. I really like this manhwa because not only is our main character too overpowered, but he is very smart, he is badass, he is not a simp even though there are so many beautiful girls, and most of all, the art is very good. Number 5 on our list is Let Me Game in Peace. One drop of blood equals one level up. Other people game overnight, I game overnight and bleed. Ever since the dimensional storms descended upon Earth, numerous dimensional zones have appeared, bringing with them all kinds of dimensional creatures. Immortals, Buddhas, devils, angels, elves, etc. Yet all these strange dimensional zones can turn into dungeon instances on my phone. Other people risk their lives adventuring. I spend all my time gaming. Monsters drop dimensional crystals that boost stats and imbue new skills. This manhwa has a unique story. The main character has a cheat Android phone, which obviously he uses to level up in real life, and the art is good, so make sure to read it. Number 4 on our list is Her Summon. Due to a misuse of a word joke on live TV broadcast, girl group otaku Jin Kyung ended up becoming doxxed and labeled as a child predator and ended up getting social anxiety disorder. 3 years later, because of his past incident from the 3D world, his love for only the 2D world manifested and ended up becoming a shut-in otaku. Then one day, as Jin Kyung was no lifing as usual, he was summoned to another world and came face to face with a bright-eyed, hopeful summoner. Interesting enough, in this world that Jin Kyung was summoned to, his social anxiety disorder disappeared and he was also able to wield immense power and became the strongest existence over there. This is the story of formal girl group otaku turned powerful 2D otaku and the story of a weak and feeble summoner who starts a new adventure. The art of this manhwa is the strongest point, even though there are times when you would be angry at the main character for being so weak and pathetic, but as you keep reading it, you will see the character development. Number 3 on our list is I Have to Be a Monster. Xiao Qiu, who quietly guards humanity with his own strength, is misunderstood by everyone. Having experienced a depressed life and being reborn, he embarked on the path of becoming a bloodless and tearless monster. Saving mankind? What does it have to do with me? This is quite an interesting manhwa. But for me, what was more interesting was the art itself. It felt like I was rereading Solo Leveling, not because of the story, but it was just because of the art. It's a nice manhwa to read, so make sure to give it a try. Number 2 on our list is The Lazy Sword Master. Have you ever seen a main character who is so powerful, so overpowered, but he still acts like a trash? Well, there are a lot of them, but this one is very unique. He is a warrior who was chosen by the Holy Sword regardless of his will for the sake of mankind, but he became tired of living for others. Out of salvation, he defeated the last enemy, the Demon King, and decided to die. In order to relieve the burden of being a warrior and a master of the Holy Sword, he was going to give up on his life and fall into eternal rest. But when he opens his eyes, he finds himself as the youngest son of a master swordsman. Well, what an irony. He gave up his life to escape the world of swords, but now he is reincarnated right in the middle of it. On number 1, we have the most popular and one of the most loved manhwas, FFF Class Trash Hero. The main character is obviously too overpowered. Protagonist Kim Han-soo killed the Demon King after 10 years of being summoned in the fantasy world. Now it's time to be sent back to Earth. But what is this? The fantasy world's god appear along with his report card because he removed all the obstacles that prevented him from killing the Demon King. Yes, and that included his comrades too. His personality score was F, and because of that the goddess to send him back to his world, which in turn frustrates our main character. But what can he do? He has to start over once again, but this time he has to get a good score instead of getting an F. The art of this manhwa is beautiful, the story is very interesting and sometimes funny, and the main character is overpowered, ruthless. He is practically an anti-hero. Thank you for watching this video. You can subscribe to our channel for more videos like these.